overall feeling pretty good about things there. Xiaofeng off to a good start. But overall, we are very even. And this is something, Quacks, that we kind of talked about before we got into the game during our breaks. But LNG, throughout their game so far, very, very passive. And whether that's because of Zika or Xiaofeng or whatever leadership, not really wanting to go for many fights. They love disengaging. They don't love going for bench stuff. As I say that, though, a little bit of skirmishing up here, as it's going to be Xiaosha knocked back with that seismic shove and getting chunked very low, forced to flash away. Baye kiting out nicely, but it's going to allow for Xiaofeng to at least pick up that first scrub. With Junho and Saber now joining the fray, they're going to secure another, so it's 1-for-1 overall. And now potential fight around the last one. Xiaofeng has the smite, so should be able to secure it.
Oh, look at the bot side. Oh, hang on.
Oh, Junho. He flashes in and goes in for the Cyclone, and it's going to be a little bit too far forward for Xiaosha. First blood picked up for LNG, but Xiaofeng now has to flash and use the Heartbreaker to get out, but he will survive. It's a double kill in for Haichao, and they're looking for Saber as well. He will go down. 3-0, and the Feats of Warfare have gone over to Team LNG. Actually end up baiting Junho with that Hex Flash and then finding that immediate hook back onto the Braum.
I also kind of question why Ultra Prime even went for this play in the first place, because obviously, you know, you lose the grubs, and then at that point, you're just hunting for a kill.
The jungle item enough. Yep. And so it will be the Herald going over, and maybe the sign that this dragon could go over to Ultra Prime. But LNG still in the lead. About 1,000 gold or so. Would not be opposed to wanting to fight this. And as I say that, a teleport has come in from Zika. He has the equalizer at rank 2 at this point, and the dragon is not taken very quickly. Weaver's Wall comes out. Zhuo gets stunned though, and does not land that initial dredge line as Zhang's already chunked down to 60% HP. Ultra Prime don't want to start this dragon just yet. Junho pops the Herald, maybe looking for a potential escape plan. Who's going to get into the pit first? It's going to be a dash over from Junho, but he got already chunked down to half. It's stolen away by Xiaofeng. And now the fight can begin in earnest as the equalizer has come out. Zhang goes in with the Herald, but he will drive it straight to his demise as LNG get a couple of kills back, as well as the dragon soul point.
It's so unfortunate there for Ultra Prime. They lose so much, and now Grapes, they're on a timer. That's soul point. They have got to make a play and fast. Otherwise, at the rate this game is going, a soul feels like a foregone conclusion as, we're going to just go back into the replay, and it was the thinnest of margins, but still, the Viego acquires the Drake, even if it is to his own death. We in the jungler department like to call that work.
And look at the equalizer.
But crucially now, it is going to be Otacon spawning in about 10 seconds. It's going to be on that top side. And you can already see Ultra Prime, they're going to try and be first to the punch this time.
This one, popping the Ghost. It looks like Zhuo's going to go super aggressive here. Depth charge on top of the equalizer with the Dawning Shadow on top. But it's not enough to take Baye down. And here goes Zhang on the flank. Already Zhuo has gone down. But Zika is hunting the rest of Ultra Prime as they loom deviously around that Otacon.
They do indeed, but there were a lot of ultimates expended by LNG, not to mention they lost Zhuo, who does have teleports, so he should be able to, come back to the fight, but still, those R keys not going to be available for a while. So LNG, they're just saying, screw the Otacon, let's abandon it, let's go for this mid turret instead. We don't have the power to really fight this. Slowly but surely, they're going to be gravitating toward that part of the map. Haichao, though, has the luxury of staying a bit further behind, as he does have that Weaver's Wall. Zika
was overheated, so actually going to be in some trouble. Has to flash away from Zhang. But now he gets exhausted. The third proc leader work lands. There's the Cyclone as well. Zika just might be taken down under his own turret. And that is not a good play here. But the response will be that Otacon taken down by LNG. But you're going to say that's all right here for UP because you are continuing to scale the game out. You're going to deny that soul and get Baye closer to 225.
Absolutely. You drag the game out an extra 5 minutes at the very least for Baye on the Smolder. The question is, who will be the first to engage? I imagine Zhuo, who's been so active with these dredge lines, is going to look for an opportunity onto Saber. You can see he's fishing. He's trying to hug that topside wall to get an angle onto the backline. He doesn't want to hook in Junho. He doesn't want to hook in Xiaojia, but Ultra Prime are playing this very smartly position-wise.
Weaver's Wall separating everybody, gives maybe LNG a good opportunity to try to burst down the dragon. The seismic shove lands on it too, but here comes the mom. It makes LNG kite away. Dawning Shadow over the top, but Baye is able to pick out the first kill of the fight. But Xiaofeng has now gotten a reset as well, and he transforms into the Wukong body. Zika is overheated. Fish one taken very low, nearly getting executed before he issues out the piercing light to heal himself right back up. One more Q from Baye could secure himself an easy double kill, but instead the dragon is going to be the focus. Who's going to get the soul? It'll be LNG to secure it, and now they can win the fight. Baye goes down. Jung will fall. Only Saber and Xiaoxia will live as LNG get their prize and can now go to Baron.
And at the end of the day, Junao is your main engage. He puts himself on the front lines. But the problem with being on the front lines is you are most likely to die. You lose your jungler at a pivotal moment in this game. He's not there to secure the dragon for you. You're going to lose out on that. You're going to lose out on the team fight. And to make matters extra worse, Grapes, the Baron will be the cherry on top for LNG.
We stalled out, waiting for this dragon to spawn once again. Quacks and LNG get that. They get the Otacon. Maybe took them a little bit longer than they wanted, but they win this team fight and put themselves in a great position to run away with this first game. Some good engages, some good poke from Haichao. And I thought that honestly Ultra Prime had a good chance.
I mean, Junao honestly just goes way too far here. Sure, the dummy is good, but Xiaofeng, the follow-up to just make sure that he can't get away, like you said, transforms into the Wukong body. Even if you get that Cyclone down, even if you actually survive that, it feels so difficult for you to re-enter the fight as the Wukong with how healthy these LNG members are. They just run over the rest of the Ultra Prime members. And it's a huge advantage, like you said, for them. Only 4,000 gold up, but still the objectives account for way more than 4,000 gold.
And they can have even more added to that lead with all the standing gold that still exists on the map in the form of these inner turrets. Zhang going forward with the needlework, trying to chunk out this wave at the very least and force LNG back. But things become much harder for this composition of play of Ultra Prime now that the Baron buff minions are going to continue to allow for LNG to push, and also the Mountain Soul means that just that little extra piece of damage is going to be needed for those executes to start to land.
And the problem is they're just pushing down all in one lane. And Smolder now, even though you have Baron and Power minions, Smolder is really good at clearing the waves. Annie as well is pretty good at clearing the waves. You need to have that 4-1 thread, and LNG realized that, but you can already see Jiang there to counter Zika. So it will be a bit of a delayed play on the Baron, but nonetheless, they should be able to squeeze UP tighter and tighter with this play.
Juno dashes forward, not using the Cyclone, actually baiting out the Dawning Shadow of Fishone, who is playing a little bit more on the defensive side. As regardless of the wave clear, LNG able to secure 2 of the 3 inner turrets in both mid and bottom lane. Only top lane does remain up. Baron buff still around for 50 seconds or so. And we're starting to get to the point, Quacks, where the siege of LNG is starting to come to play.
At the end of the day, LNG just really want to try and siege so that, around, less than 3 minutes until that Elder spawns, they want to prevent as much jockeying between these two teams as possible around that.
Xiaoxia gets hit by one seismic shove, and then the Heartbreaker will execute, but look at the back line. That is Fish one down. A 2-kill 1K shutdown for
Not
John.
again.
Xiaofeng is still alive in the transform Viego body. He will go and take the Gwen down, but Baye's got a couple of executes as well. A triple kill already for the Viego, looking for the quad, and he gets it on a Baye. It looked like almost an opportunity for Ultra Prime, but the Viego will live, Zika will survive, and it's still 2 men up here for LNG.
I was getting Thunder Talk versus LGD Gaming. Game 2 flashbacks there for a minute, Grapes, but luckily, Xiaofeng manages to save his team. The top side prevails, lives through the engage from Ultra Prime, and let's actually take a look at how that happened again. So again, it comes in the form of not just one TP, but to Saber lands a massive Tibbers onto the squishy members of LNG. And initially you're thinking it's good, but I think the big difference maker is just the fact that Xiaofeng is so strong on this Viego, manages to get the antibody, stuns, manages to take those resets, and runs away with the fight, saves his team. from a potentially disastrous fate, but and hopefully this is their last stand, and this is going to be the fight that I think determines who will win game 1.
Ooh, seismic shove. It lands on Abaye. That's a Smolder at half HP. Right when the Elder Dragon was about to spawn. I was going to say, if Ultra Prime were able to get the Elder with the Smolder at now 332 stacks, that could have been a really big boon. But with Baye forced back to base, LNG can really set up nicely around this Dragon Pit, make it very difficult for Ultra Prime to get in.
Because they have no AD carry, they're not really able to overload with numbers. This is just allowing LNG to kind of section off this part of the map. But now the Smolder is here. They've got to make the play. That Dragon is super low.
Zika flashing away from the cycle and getting hit up by the second proc. Almost the Mom steals it away, but Zhao Feng able to secure the Elder. And now it's Reset City in for LNG Esports. Already 2 members down. That is Jung falling before he even pops his Zanyas. And Joshua will make it casualty number 3. Surely this should mean the end of the game. As LNG win the fight, they get the Elder, and they can march down middle lane.
And LNG police that part of the map. They completely prevent Ultra Prime's advance as Zika's going in.
Hook doesn't land on Abaye. As actually not over just yet. It's the big carry still alive here for Ultra Prime. Baye has both of his summoner spells. It's almost 350 stacks on the Smolder, and there's no Baron buff in the hands of LNG with 13 seconds left on Junha. So this game might not actually be over just yet, but LNG want it to be as they're headed on to the Nexus turrets right now. The death timers, though, are going to continue to
don't
tick
have
down
a wave
to 0, and that means that LNG actually can't end. They will take another prize as an inhibitor, but now with Junha alive, it is going to be very difficult for them to try to go for the throat.
They still have 90 seconds on that Elder.
Hold on, Elder, Baye. Shields up nicely, will be able to stay alive, and the Needleworth comes through from Zhang. They're looking for a last-ditch effort. They find Zika with the kill, but it will be Zhang getting another one back. The Mom comes out. Baye is still untouched in the backline, but he finally will get targeted, and that'll be it. Zhao Feng and LNG end up wiping the floor with Ultra Prime. It took them a while, but a win is a win nonetheless. They go 1-up in this best-of-3 series.
It was slow to the bone there.
If you can pick this win up and somehow for Ultra Prime come back, win this series, all of a sudden you flip the schedule around, right? Like you're in the second round robin now, you're ending on a win. Hopefully that's some good momentum for you moving forward, even though of course the road will be tough as you have to get up into that top 4. Still definitely a good spot to be in if you still are able to run away with this series, if you're able to somehow come back in this mini reverse sweep over LNG.
Zika's wave is actually growing quite large as it crashes into the turret, and yeah, I think Zhao Feng is reading the room. I think Jiang is as well, but the question is, what is he going to do about it?
Zika taking a decent chunk of damage, but does have the Fury. Nice flash combo!
Oh no!
Oh, what an outplay it could be! But the turret aggro goes onto the Vi instead of Zika, and that means that the Renekton will be with a claim first blood.
It was not a clean dive whatsoever, Grapes, but you know, a kill is a kill. We take the wins where we can find them. Zika is going to pick up first blood, and crucially, Jiang is going to miss so much CS. A 800 gold gap between the top laners, but Junha wants to even score.
No slice and dice available for Zika just yet. One more chomp from Junha will make it a 1-for-1. River Gragas at play. This is given like start of 2025 lane swaps, right? Where they would just try to
don't remind me, man.
Hey, it's fun when it's not happening every game. And now, it means that things are interesting here. As it looks like 4 members of Ultra Prime will go towards Zika. He does have his Subjugate available, gonna pop it, try to heal up, but will not be able to use the Empowered Q to heal. And Zhuo comes in with the TP, but it is far too late. Ultra Prime get the kill, but LNG is still farming plates up on the top side of the map.
And really, really smart play there, particularly from Jiang, realizing that he is bullied out of the lane. He can do nothing about getting back to top, so he makes the most of it. He goes bot, they set up for a dive on a stacked wave, and they punish Zika. He absolutely is, and this is going to be first turret acquired for the side of Ultra Prime. Funnily enough, there's actually a lot of damage being dealt by LNG on that topside turret because of that lane swap. They were able to take it down to 1 plate, so if they want to abandon this dragon, they can try and overload top and maybe dive Jiang as Dominus pop from Zika.
To pop that explosive cast just to clear the wave, which is a good formula for now, but might not be able to save him still
risky.
as Xiaofeng is on the way. They're going to say,
Xiaoshua's
screw
coming.
the wave, we're going to go for the kill anyway, and they should be successful at that, but they bought enough time for Xiaoshu to be here, and Baye will join it and take Xiaofeng down, making it a 1-for-1, with the Dragon also secured by Junhao on the bottom side.
That is not worth it, in my opinion, for LNG. Sure, you get Jiang, but you give another kill over to Baye, who now has a 1,000 gold lead over his counterpart. Fish One, not exactly expected to be the carry, but still you need gold in comparison with the Xayahs. Xiaoshu?
That was a very aggressive Hex Gate without anybody nearby, but you know what? It ends up working out. Don't even have to burn a Summoner spell as he gets on out as Junhao now joins him in solidarity. Hits Krugs a couple times, then realizes he can't do this. And actually getting engaged on by Xiaofeng right now. This teleport coming back
flank
in from Zika to try and take this Trundle down. Already has the subjugate, has to flash over the wall. Make sure he stays alive, but Zika still hungry, still looking for Baye now. He has both of his Summoner spells available, but won't be able to use any. As the shockwave comes through over the stun from the Renekton and evens things up for LNG.
You know, they were going for the Trundle, but they'll settle for the Lucian. Absolutely a massive kill over to LNG, and now nobody from Ultra Prime is here to contest this topside push. A turret will finally be claimed for them in trade from that recent bot lane tower that they lost. But still, you don't have anyone contesting Baye on this mid wave. It doesn't matter how much gold you try to give over to the Xayah. It doesn't matter how much gold you even try to give over to the Renekton. If you don't put down this carry in the Lucian, UP are just going to run with it as they're going to try again on the Gragas.
Hey, third time. Why not go for it again? And once again, will be successful. Jung's had a bad time here in this second game. Not going to be in the same position as he was in the Gwen in game number 1. The rest of his team may be in a better position here as Baye and Xiaoshu doing a nice job of gaining some control in mid, and Saber and Junhao munching away on this tier 2 turret.
Yeah. I mean, this is just the consequence of giving 2 grubs over to Trundle. Immediately bites that one in half. And I mean, sure, you get a kill on the bot side, you're going to get a turret in trade. But ultimately, Ultra Prime, I feel, win out on this one with just how much gold they're beginning to funnel into their carries as Baye maybe has an opportunity with his team.
Nice pillar, lands on above Fish One and Zhuo, stunning up the bottom side of LNG and allowing for them to claim yet another turret. 4 towers at 15 minutes into the game. Ultra Prime have a clear objective, and that is to make sure those objectives go down.
And now Ultra Prime likely going to push the issue onto LNG about having no outers. That Herald is up and could prove to be really, really useful around the time of this Dragon. We talked about it a little in game 1, but oh my god, Jiang. My poor friend. Just play safe, right?
Now, I've seen a Gragas player, maybe in the ERLs, have performances like this. So, you know, maybe that's a sign that rest of Ultra Prime could be doing well. As now we're seeing Zika and Saber go at it on the top side of things. And Zika is having a really good time. However, reinforcements now will arrive. A summoner heal popped by Xiaoshu, forcing the Croc to flash away. Aqua Prison does not connect, but the rest of the damage might be able to do the Call to Meek, keeping Zika alive. But Saber's going to flash forward, land that empowered Q, and take the Renekton down. The big damaged ones in terms of Saber and Baye both still on cooldown, but Junhao still trying to get his way into the pit. That pillar doing so much to allow for Fish One to get very low. Junhao's right in the middle of everyone, and Xiaofeng will go down. It's Baye to claim the kill, and it should be Ultra Prime claiming the Drake as well. It's the Hextech Soul Point secured for UP.
And it is the same thing, but a different side. Ultra Prime getting Soul Point so early on in this game. And now it's LNG that are put on a timer. We're going to go back here. Baye, again, just looking for the play. Flashes the Shockwave, but then he basically has nobody to back him up. I think that Zhuo on the Rakan, the charm prevented the rest of the front line from immediately joining up with the Lucian. If I'm being honest with you, Graves, it doesn't necessarily feel like that gold lead is because Zika is ahead. It more so feels like Jiang is extremely far behind.
Yeah, and he can still have utility on this Gragas pick as everybody on Ultra Prime hovering around this Otacon. And Zhao Feng is still so far away.
Oh, the
Hey,
cast.
there's Zhang with an MVP play, using the cast to knock the jungler away. He will go down for his sins eventually, but he heals up for a while and forces LNG to get chunked out. Zika forced to run away as a flank angle still is available, and LNG still want the fight. It's a 4v5. Zhao Feng at half HP. Zika getting chunked as well. The dominance not going to be enough as Baye will secure the kills. They collapse upon the flanker. They're using the Herald, but not towards the turret. They're looking for blood onto LNG's side.
Juno!
Knockup will land onto Haichao, but the engage isn't there just yet. Juno trying to chase him down as Joel goes forward with the quickness. It will not be enough though as Haichao will drop. They finally take down the Lucian, but now Fishwan will be the response. Ultra Prime winning the Herald, winning the fight, and they get themselves the Otacon as well.
Ultra Prime are just routinely finding numbers advantages, routinely finding the angles to press the issue, and now the issue has arrived to LNG's front doorstep. This is soul on the line for Ultra Prime. This is LNG's potentially last stand to come back in this game.
All eyes have to be towards Haichao on this Orianna. Need a great shockwave if they want to win this fight. The culling has already come out, and Fishwan is down to 300 HP. Into the pit, Zhao Fan goes. He's looking for the engage. The cease and assist does connect, but a huge bubble from Xiao Shen's going to slow down the assault and make sure that Ultra Prime are fine and dandy around the Soul Drake. Haichao did not find a good ultimate, and he will pay for it with his life. The laser from Saber will take him down, and it's an ace picked up for UP.
And a triple for the mid laner of Ultra Prime. Juno at the end of the day, uncontested, doesn't need anyone on his team to help him with the dragon. This will allow Ultra Prime to push down in the mid lane. They don't have a huge wave, so maybe they don't find the turret, but nonetheless, that was just, like you said, Grapes, a massive bubble by Xiaoxia. Being able to peel off his AD carry, give by a crucial couple of seconds on this Lucian, and overall, just waste so many resources on LNG's side as we're going to get another look at this. That culling damage, a Fishwan, he might not have been dead, but he was out of the fight. There was no way for him to get back in. And then a beautiful R from Xiaoxia, a beautiful bubble peeling off for his backline, providing so much time for them to just free hit in this fight. You have to think that was a primary reason they were able to take this exchange.
Xiaoxia on the Nami, able to find a lot of plays. They find another huge play. Jung might be 1-5, but he's finding huge attempts for his team as they take Fishwan down once again. The newest player here in the LPL, not having as good of a performance this time. Shockwave lands onto two members here from Haichao, but there's no follow-up here onto the Ultra Prime backline as Baye gets healed up by the Redemption, and they can now turn their sights towards the Baron on spawn.
Yeah, Ultra Prime are like, okay, doesn't have Shockwave anymore. Let's just go on to Baron. The world is our oyster, and right on spawn, they're going to take the big purple worm. Zika does have teleport, but based on Zhao Feng's positioning and the fact that the Vi is just on this bot side, there really is no possibility for a contest. This is going to go over to UP. My biggest concern now is that LNG don't have the greatest of wave clear. Obviously, you've got the Xayah with those passive, those clean cuts, but really, the AoE is not doing you any favors for trying to defend your base. And it feels like Ultra Prime, they get one pick, they get one kill. They should be able to press the issue and take us to a game 3.
Said game 3s, Ultra Prime very familiar with that, trying to make it 4 times in 5 series. The question is, if they do close out this game, can they finally win their first series here in Group Nirvana? Time will tell, obviously, but a much better showing here from basically everybody here on Ultra Prime. Saber quietly really be having a monster showing on the Victor at this point.
Yeah.
3 full items and 1,000 gold shutdown to his name. And Baye playing aggressive and still looking for more. As Zhao Feng now the target, he uses the Vault Breaker to try to escape, but another nice Aqua Prison lands as Xiaoxia will find the jungler of LNG and take him down easily.
That's another kill, another one racked up for Ultra Prime as they are now 5 members in the bot lane. And LNG, they've got a member at top, they've got a member in mid. Is this the competitive version of Open?
Oh, they're going to get some objective bounties maybe here on that tier 1, but the Might not even get the chance to spend the gold before the game already ends. Culling comes out, Zhuo trying to block for Fish One, but both of them are taken critically low as the first Nexus Tower does drop, and Baron buff still in everybody's hands. Haichao with the shockwave doesn't do any damage whatsoever, and Zhang will get kill number 2 on the day. Nexus now exposed, Body Slam will connect, and that's gonna do it. Ultra Prime forcing a decider into this battle of the mud. Game 3 is coming up right after this.
Both teams are in the mud.
He's pretty low though. Yeah, he is. Don't think he's going to be able to get in there. Gonna head back to base instead. This Dragon likely should be going over to Junhao. They feel so confident about it that they're sending Saber actually back to the mid lane, and Xiaofeng not wanting to contest or go for a flip. Instead going for these grubs instead. So Junhao should be able to finish this one off nicely. Ultra Prime getting on the objective board, but overall LNG still controlling that top side of the map pretty admirably.
LNG going to have a Vice Iron grip on that one for a while.
Sasha now getting targeted. He shouldn't have stepped too far forward. Getting stunned up by Xiaofeng. Right now it's just the tanks hitting him, but they're going to do enough damage actually to take him down. Give first blood over to Haichao. LNG on the board first after what was a very unnecessary death from the Ultra Prime support.
Really, really good there for LNG to actually give the kill over to their mid laner. Haichao, basically the sole magic damage proprietor of this comp, so you want to make sure that he has as much gold as humanly possible. Also a champ that just snowballs really well. We've seen time and time again what happens when Aurora is actually fed, so I think if LNG can continue to funnel gold into that pick, they should create a very difficult win con for Ultra Prime to actually deal with, especially because this is a rather short-ranged Ultra Prime comp and very, very engage heavy. So if Aurora can evade all of that and have the proper protection from this top side, it'll be pretty difficult for them to find a crack in the armor. It's that third and Tofu strike. Yeah, both teams going toward this bot side. Junhao is actually hitting the Dragon. They're in a bit of a difficult situation.
Wow. They stayed around here. Saber looking for the solo kill there with that interaction that you talked about here. On to the Destiny. Speaking of, he's going forward again, flashing in. Gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. As now it is Ultra Prime controlling the Dragon Pit and taking their second of the game. Engage already coming forward from Xiao. But the Magnus Storm lands on a 3. It's going to be the all-out back in as Xiaofeng will drop. And Zhuo enough spot to flash away as Zika comes forward with the teleport. Killer Instinct comes in for Baye as well. Looking to burst down the Rel, forcing him to flash away. Zika gets hit by the third and Topo strike. And Baye will claim another kill as Ultra Prime get themselves the feats of warfare.
Really, really good re-engage there from Baye after the play was looking like it might be dead in the water after the initial kill onto Xiaofeng. He ults in, gives his team a new opportunity to re-engage, and they take the fight. Numbers advantage, it's a 3v4. And Xiaofeng, I bet Jiang in the comments is saying, I bet you wish you had Flash, huh? As they slam him against the wall, despite getting the nice, actually 2-man impale, because it was a good all-out cancel buffer from Jiang. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. And then Junhao and Baye go in as a jungle AD carry duo, re-engage the fight, and manage to find one more, claim those feats of warfare. It's just cleanly played, and honestly a mistake from LNG not having the numbers to fight it.
They look for a response here with Saber. I mean, this Twisted Fate was able to get himself a pretty decent gold lead, but instead trying to just sacrifice his life to make sure that Haichao is not involved in the fight as well. When he had the Destiny and the teleport available, a decision that Ultra Prime will look upon again as being worth it for making sure that Haichao is not be able to get into the fight. As we say that, UP reclaiming that gold lead. And looks like LNG aren't done fighting just yet. The Crescent card has to be popped by Junhao, and that'll send them both away.
It's really difficult for Ultra Prime to actually fight with a lot of these frontliners, as they don't have anything to necessarily knock them down for size yet. I mean, Baye has Kraken Slayer, and there's been a lot of debate on whether or not Kraken Slayer is really considered a tank-killing item anymore. Speaking of tanks,
yeah, I mean, that is Xiaofeng looking very beefy, diving in on a Xiao. He already has to pop the Unbreakable Will, but 4 members of LNG are going to try to burst down the cow anyway, and they do so successfully with Haichao picking up the kill. Ultimate popped onto Saber. They should be able to get him as well. It's a double kill for the Aurora, and LNG will strike back.
And LNG find 2 on the top side. The wave is pretty low here, so it's not going to be enough for them to claim a turret. Instead, they're just going to recall.
Not always a lot. Sometimes we see some disappointing plays from him, but hoping to see that change here for LNG. As UP started up the Rift Herald, they should be able to take it down. Now Jung actually looking for a little bit more. Gonna get taken very, very low though, and Xiaofeng with the Flash Ixtal's impact will make sure that he pays for the Herald going in favor of Ultra Prime.
I mean, Jung just a little too far away from his team, ultimately. They're not able to assist him. And a good Flash Ixtal's impact from Xiaofeng. Basically not capable of reacting to that, of the tempo of this game. Ultra Prime, if they get Soul Point, they basically put LNG on a timer. So here we go.
Ooh, this one very aggressively positioned. Had to use the Valkyrie early to make sure he did not get knocked up. Speaking of knocks up, lots of them here in the Dragon Pit. As Zhuo gets taken very low. Baya flashes after him with the Killer Instinct. One more auto should take him down. He's the first one to go into this fight. As now Zhang has already popped the all-out. Xiaofeng trying to take Baya down, but he goes back into the pit and right into Haichao's arms. It's going to actually be Zika to pick up that kill, as it's a 4v3 in favor of Ultra Prime for now. Haichao dishing out damage. The health bar is not on UP's side, as Zika's still looking very menacing here around this dragon. As UP want to try to get this soul point. Is that half right now? Xiaofeng looking to chase him down the spear. Gonna dodge away from Zhang. And the skirmish, the shuffle will continue to come as Xiaofeng gets knocked up. He's gonna get taken down, but Zika dives in and takes Xiaosha down in response. Another gold card comes in, a double kill in for Zhang. And this should be Ultra Prime claiming the fight. Haichao will fall as well up to Destiny, and Junhao will claim the kill.
And Saber locks it down. Haichao says, sit down, Aurora. And Ultra Prime win out on the fight. Ultimately, though, you got to give a lot of credit over to Junhao yet again. This fight, it felt so difficult for LNG because you had Zika on the side. You had, like you said earlier, Fish One burning that Valkyrie to try and get away. So they had no real easy access into the fight. And that tiny little window gave Ultra Prime the ability to look for the aggressive play. Junhao turns it on, and he does not turn it off. His team is able to deal damage over the wall to assist him. This is where I got a little bit worried, honestly, Grapes. I mean, these health bars, it's very, very concerning, but they play it on a knife's edge.
These gold cards from Saber were big. Remember, we talked about him being this X factor. In this deciding Game 3, he delivered a great performance in this fight.
He absolutely did, and then he doesn't even give Haichao the ability to escape.
Seeing some more skirmishing around the bottom side river. There's no dragon to take anymore, so not necessarily necessary to go for anything.
Ooh, hang on.
As Xiaosha gets the knock up onto Xiaofeng, now using that Herald and charge into this tier 1. Try to take some of it down, but it's going to go right to the Ixtal's impact of Xiaofeng. But now the headbutt will send Xiaofeng right back into the team. Zhang teleporting right under the tier 1 turret, and he will yeet one back with him. That is going to be Fish One taken down thanks to the all-out. And Zhuo will be the next target. Magnus Storm only delaying what's going to be a double kill going into the Cristante's hands.
And I mean, Xiaofeng with that Ixtal's impact, he thought he had Zhang, but Zhang hit him with the proverbial Uno reverse card, grabs his AD carry, sends him over the wall. It's a pick for Ultra Prime. They only get one more, but that is more than enough for them to break open the mid lane now. This game is wide open for UP, and with those 2 kills, they're going to claim an Otacon, Grapes.
A lot of that work, though, came here on this play in the mid lane.
It absolutely did. We're going to get another look at this, and I mean, honestly, this is just hilarious because Xiaosha goes in for the engage, goes into the Herald, and then gets hit. Xiaofeng says, I can do it better. Here, guys, here's some ground beef. Then proceeds to get knocked back. Ult throws him the other way. They're just ping-ponging each other around that terrain, and then Zhang says, you know what, here's an innocent bystander that's extremely squishy. I'm gonna just throw him into my team. It's just a friendly game of ping pong between 2 players, and then Zhang had to pull in a cheap move and involve the AD carry of LNG. That is indeed a scary prospect, especially against Twisted Fate and Kaisa. Not only are the champions good with the soul, but I mean, the players piloting them have just been relentless in this game. Baya has been so aggressive on the Xayah, and Saber has been finding gold card after gold card, constantly pursuing LNG in these extended chases. Speaking of getting pursued, Young might be pursuing them
LNG,
after being the pursued one.
They were trying to collapse onto Zhang, but now Ultra Prime have found the collapse onto them instead. Xiaofeng gets knocked back for the Intofo strikes and will die, and that is the smite available taken away on the side of UP. However, LNG, they're not done just yet. A nice engage comes through from Zhuo, and Saber is taken down, making it a 1-for-1 overall. Zhang now at half HP, forced to run away. Xiaosha lands another knockup though onto Haichao. He's still one of the stronger members in the game, and he gets taken back between the worlds, and Zhang gets shut down. Ultra Prime though get one back. A crazy fight, an all-out brawl in the bottom lane, and now Zhuo is one taken very low. Junao goes forward, picks himself up a double kill, and forces Fish One and Haichao to back away.
Junhao, even though he loses his solo laners, continues to go forward, continues to be the spear for Ultra Prime.
A lot of those champions have that value here. We're going to see that in any potential fight that unfolds for the rest of this game, as Ultra Prime look like they want to dance just a little bit around this river. They force Xiaofeng to use that Ixtal's impact defensively, but then he sends in a two-man impale. Only on the front line though, but Junhao's already popped the Crescent Guard. They find Fish One and catch him out. As Baya will get that first kill. Another knockup lands on the Xiaofeng. He should go down. It's a double kill in for the Kaisa. Between Wolves from Haichao gets knocked up. There's another knockup from Xiaosha, and Baya could pick himself up a quadra kill. Only Zhuo remains. Will they give it over to him? Zhang's looking to chase him down, but Baya has no interest in the Penta. Instead, it's going to be the mid lane tier 2 and potentially the game.
And people are going to say Fish One is green, but nah, this man is black and blue and battered all around. Ultra Prime find their target. It's the AD carry of LNG, and sure, they lose their support, but they will gain a Baron in response, and the siege just got a whole lot meaner for the side of UP.
They can see it in their eyes. The first series win for them in Group Nirvana. And it got ever so close after this last team fight. It was a nice engage from Xiaofeng once again, but there's just not enough damage.
Yeah, this is really, really tough. I mean, Fish One, my friend, just gets immediately eliminated from this fight. And although it takes a little bit for them to get through these frontliners on LNG, as I don't really have any necessarily, I would say, easy way to take out tanks. Slowly but surely.
And now a teleport comes in from Haichao. It's going to be a last-ditch effort. Zhuo looking to begin the engage. Magnus Storm onto Zhang, but he's just way too tanky. Pathmaker away is going to keep himself alive and still have HP.
On the
and look at Xiaosha looking to try to cut everybody off. Headbutt Zhuo right into Zhang's arms, and on the other side, I think that Zika getting taken down by Baya. Already a 1-for-0, and this Kaisa still untouched on the back line. Zhang gets the kill into Xiaofeng, and it's an absolute evisceration in the bottom lane here for Ultra Prime. 5-for-0 ace, and that winless streak has come to an end.
And 5 series, they finally manage. The two teams that rolled in the mud, one stands tall, the other one falls, and Ultra Prime will be your winners of this best of 3 grapes.
Not about how you start, it's how you finish this first round robin if you're Ultra Prime. As they finally get on the win column, they take down LNG at their home arena. And this has to be the start of any sort of momentum for them if UP want to have any chance at keeping their season alive and moving on to the play-in stage.